You know, there are certain things in life that you just can't explain why people like them. Like when people say chihuahuas are cute, but you can't understand how they find those ugly, gremlin-like, barking, hellish little assholes cute. That's kind of the feeling I get when I look at the Cacodemon. I know I should be curled up in a corner, terrified, but at the same time, I just want to squish the shit out of it. The Cacodemon is another demon that went through major changes across the games. Its first design was loosely based on the head of the Astral Dreadnought from Dungeons & Dragons, and I say loosely. But really, it looks like it was on the edge of a lawsuit. They also bear some resemblance to the Beholder, only without the tentacles sprouting from its head. They first appear in E2M1, the only enemies alongside the Lost Soul that don't show up in the first episode. They're slow, can bite, and launch projectiles, though the most surprising trait is their sound. An aggressive hiss when they first detect the player. They're also tough, with about 400 hit points, and will eat through your ammo fast. But once you get a chainsaw, you can stun-lock their ugly Cheshire stupid grin pretty easily. What really makes them creepy is that massive, evil smile. It gives off the sense that the creature enjoys every second of it, grinning while it tries to murder you. It radiates pure, psychotic energy. Like most classic demons, there wasn't much lore given to it at first, but there's still one big question that's lingered since the original game, and it's still up for debate. What the hell is that hole? Yes, some people joke and say it's the demon's, well, exit port. Which, hey, maybe we can just roll with that for the lore explanation, but the real reason is that the hole is a leftover peg socket, part of how the physical model was held in place during sprite creation. I'll let you decide which answer you prefer. We're all adults here, we all know. It's his asshole. The demon also makes its appearance in the Doom RPG series with two alternate versions. The Malwrath, the weakest of the trio, and the Wretched, the most powerful. Doom 64 gave us a very interesting change in the look of the Cacodemon. Thanks to the Mother Demon, who revived the demons Doomguy had previously killed, and the mutations they received from radiation, the Cacodemons change color, now brown with yellow eyes, which makes them resemble the Pain Elemental a bit more. One detail I just can't wrap my head around from a lore perspective is the chain now attached to their wrist. It looks cool, sure, but why are they there? Those were supposed to be the remains of the ones you killed in Doom 1. So this means their chain somehow showed up in between Doom 1 and 64. We can probably try to come up with a reason, but I feel the real answer is just the because it looked cool classic. Doom 3, up until 2025, had the most drastically different take on the Cacodemon, and people went berserk over it, saying it sucked because it looked nothing like the original. Boy, wait until we get to the Dark Ages. The Cacodemon first shows up in the communications transfer, and it's surprising to know that they don't appear in the Hell levels. Just by looking at them, you'd think they'd fit perfectly in that environment. Here, it looks like the Doom 64 version kept mutating, losing its arms and sprouting appendages underneath its body. Its signature hiss was swapped for a heavy, deep breathing, but what really pissed people off was the 6 eyes instead of just 1. On top of that, part of its brain bulges out of its skull, acting as a weak point that takes extra damage when shot. There isn't much left of the classic design, though at least they kept that same evil, nightmarish grin. It can still bite, now with multiple rows of teeth, and its projectiles can be destroyed midair if you shoot them down. Oh, and I was really surprised to find this concept art that feels way more in line with the Dark Ages cosmic version, and it got me wondering if idsoftware, after chaining Doom 3 in a basement, putting it in another timeline, was maybe planning to explore something about the cosmic realm being connected between the different timelines. That could explain why the Doom 3 Cacodemon leans into a more eldritch design. 2016 gave us a lot more lore regarding the Cacodemon. This is perhaps the most terrifying depiction of the creature so far. According to the UAC, Cacodemons are large psionic demons. Not very smart, but driven by hunger. They're drawn to living targets. Their energy projectiles they shoot doesn't just do damage, it also temporarily weakens the victim's senses and mobility, giving the Cacodemon a chance to close in and finish the job. It looks closer to the original one, but there's something truly unsettling in its eyes, probably because it doesn't have pupils. And while it looks similar to the classic version, it now has small limbs underneath its body, more like the one from Doom 3. One theory suggests that the demon evolved this way. It may have once had larger arms or legs, but over time, as it adapted to flying and stopped using them, they shrank and became vestigial. Another theory is that it's simply a nod to the astral dreadnought, a little Easter egg that shows how they are before eventually growing into those massive psychic creatures. Doom Eternal added even more to the lore. Described as Hunters of the Slow Lands, which seems to be a region in hell with no detailed info yet, the Cacodemon lurk in the murky, bottomless depths in search of easy prey. They drift, either by choice or because they are mentally lost. They are nearly devoid of awareness or cognitive function, just floating mouths driven by instinct. The design didn't change much from 2016, but they did add one small feature that, to me, made them less scary. A pupil. Now, in the Dark Ages, we're getting the most drastically changed Cacodemon yet. When it was first revealed, a lot of people, including me, thought it might be a flying version of the Arachnotron, mostly because of the exposed brain. But no, it's still a Cacodemon. And the lore that comes with it is actually pretty intriguing. The Cacodemon hybrids are described as ancient fragments of a vast hive mind. Their warped thoughts feed the unknowable gods that rule over the suffocating lowlands. Once part of Hell's hierarchy, they've been twisted by the eldritch influence of the witch. Now, they drift through the mists, eyeless, hunting for minds to devour. They consume thought and memory to maintain their endless, maddening link to the gods. They also have a bigger version, a massive fusion of Hellspawn and the witch's creations. These things are already gigantic, but if left unchecked for centuries, they grow large enough to swallow entire worlds. Looking at early concept art, the original sketches looked way closer to the classic Cacodemon design. Honestly, I kind of wish they'd stuck with that look. What we have now leans much harder into the flying Arachnotron feel. But what really stands out is the mention of a hive mind. That detail got me thinking, could there be a link between all the brain-bearing demons across the series? The Arachnotron, the Spider Mastermind, even Calibas from the Necravol level in Doom Eternal. Calibas is the judge of souls, deciding whether they're discarded, tortured, or turned into Argent energy. Lore-wise, they don't seem connected. But visually, the exposed brain is a repeating trait. It might be coincidence, but what if it's not? What if these demons are all part of a larger race or subspecies, one tied to the hive mind mentioned in the Dark Ages? In the digital art book, we can even see concept art of this hive mind. It looks absolutely massive, and I can't help but notice how much it resembles Aaron's founding titan. Here's where things get interestingly confusing, if that makes any sense. The cosmic Cacodemons we know are said to be altered versions of the original ones. So the chain of events seems to be, Prince Asshole offers the Cacodemons to the Cosmic Realm twists them into these eldritch, mutated forms, possibly through that hive mind entity. If that's the case, could all the demons with exposed brains actually trace back to that being? Maybe the Spider Mastermind and the Arachnotrons we encounter later are remnants of it. It gets even more intriguing when we remember the Makers are also a hive mind species controlled by the Khan Maker. Could it be that the father saw this creature within the cosmic realm and used it as inspiration or even as raw material to shape the Makers? That would explain why their designs lean so heavily toward brains and tentacles. Personally, I'd love to know more about that hive mind. It feels like one of the most interesting pieces of Doom lore that hasn't been fully explored yet.